Have you ever looked at a stunning and amazing Power BI report and dashboard and you're like, where is this coming from? And you wondered, how did they even make this? Is this some kind of a magic or what? I'm here to tell you, no, it is not magic. Behind it is a powerful language, and this language is known as DAX. You heard it, DAX. And DAX stands for Data Analysis Extractions. But let's just ditch this jargon. Think of it like this. If your data is a box of Lego, then DAX is an instruction book that lets you build anything from a simple car to a giant spaceship. Alright, to simply put this, if you are coming from the world of Excel, this will become a little bit easier for you to understand. DAX is Excel formulas on steroids. If you know Excel formulas, then DAX is just like it. Now, these DAX functions let you dig deeper into questions from your data, ask a lot of deeper questions of your data, and it helps you create new insights that don't really exist in your original data. DAX is powerful. But to be able to understand this DAX function, you need some two superpowers to be able to get this. And these are calculated columns and measure. And now what are these all about? Getting a deeper difference between this calculated column and measure will make a whole difference. It will just arm you with a real key to unlock the power of DAX. Now let's start with the calculated column. Think of it like this. You have a table that has different columns. Now calculated column helps you add another column. Let's say you have 5 columns in your table. To add the 6, 7, 8 calculated column helps you do that. So it helps you add physical, mark the word, physical column to your table. During the addition of this column, it performs calculation for every single row in your table from the existing columns. Imagine if you have like the price and the cost columns. To be able to create things like a profit column, you need a combination of price and cost. And calculated column is all you need to combine 2 columns to get the next one. This calculation, it's done row by row. And remember, it is stored in a static file. So it has a space in memory. That is what calculated column is all about. Now let's dive deep into where the real magic lies, and that is measure. A measure is simply a single aggregated value that does a calculation on the fly. In other words, it doesn't necessarily create any column. You will not see it in any column. The formula or the calculation exists as a function, and you only get to know that it is there or get to use it when you apply it on the Power BI visual. So in other words, you can have like 70, 80, hundreds of measures, yet your Power BI report will be very light. That's because it only saves those functions, and then you get to apply them on the reports. Compare it to your normal calculated column where you get to save it in memory as a column and you still get to apply it in another visual. That's like taking so much space. That will slow down your report refresh. But with measure, that's where everything starts becoming magical in Power BI. So with measure, it doesn't live in a specific row. It lives in your report when you create it. So when you apply filter, it dynamically changes to adapt to the filter you applied it to. And that is the beauty of measure. That is what makes your report feels alive. Now the question is, all right, you have said something about calculated column, measure, and even the beauty of that being a Excel formula on steroid. All right, how do I even approach this? Now, before we talk about how you will approach this, let us look at all this. This is the official documentation of that. When you click on any of this, like the aggregate function, it collapses and gives us some massive functions within it. And if you go to date and time function, you see them. There are so many of them, just like you have it in Excel. There are so many of them. And then the question is, how do you start? The secret is not in memorizing hundreds of functions. It is in knowing how they are grouped. So just like you can see here within this group, we have the aggregate function. Here we have the average, average A, count, max, mean, sum. Those are the aggregate function. Under it, we have the date and time. You can see it. And below it, we also have the filter. You can even see some special financial function. That is the group. Just understand that this group exists. And as you understand that they exist, then the next thing is to know how to use them independently or in combination with one another. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you want to calculate the sum of sales. All you need to do is to go and use the sum function, and that's it. But if you want to consider calculating what is the sum of sales last year, all you need is get the sum from the aggregate function, get the filter from the filter function, and then go and get the date function. Combine the 3 of them together, you will be able to do amazing things, calculating the sum of sales, something like this period last year, this period last month, or this time last year. That is how you combine this. And that is where the power of DAX is. So in other words, as simple as it is, you want to calculate a function to handle anything that has to do with time. All you need to do is to go to date and time. You want to combine like your first name and the last name. All you need to do is to come down here and go to the text function, use concatenate. How about you want something that has to do with the if statement, like the logical, perform some classical if statement. All you need to do is to go to the logical function, and there is how Power BI group everything and makes it easy for you to access. So with this, you don't try to learn them all. Just know that these categories exist. And the real magic begins, like I said, when you combine them. You might use the date function inside the filter function to get sales for the last quarter. Think of them as building blocks. Each of these functions are building blocks that come together to give you meaning out of your data. So to recap this, that is the brain of your report. All the shiny report you see is powered behind by DAX. Understanding the difference between the static calculated column and the dynamic measure, and knowing where to find each of these functions within their groups in the documentation means you are ready to start. Are you ready to start? Join me. Let us go and build real life project with DAX function. In the next video, I am going to apply a lot of these functions. You will see me take them one at a time and build some amazing things so that you are not going to be daunted again with this DAX function. And I'm going to even show you some of the dashboards I've been able to build with Power BI. All right, wait for me in the next video. And if you are enjoying this video, please give this a thumbs up. This is the way to support me. Remember to share it amongst your friends. If you're new to this channel, guys, please join this family. Subscribe. This family is growing and I want to take it higher. We want to learn together. So I have a question for you. When you started learning or started hearing about DAX, how did you go about it? Did you approach it by this grouping method I explained? Or did you use any other method? What method did you use? Let us know in the comment section. Let us learn together, grow together, and make the most out of this amazing world of Power BI. All right, until I see you again, please keep analyzing.